be alerted shortly that we have begun recording. And I want to go ahead and kick things off here with a little warm-up activity. So, I want to know who you are, where it is that you work, and then the icebreaker question, what is your favorite fare of food for a takeout night? And I'm just going to go down the list of who I see here. First up is Candace.
Sure, it's alphabetical order, right? Hi, my name is Candace. I am at the Seattle office of Tetra Tech, and the question about takeout is kind of a hard one because I've been actually just mostly focusing on supporting certain communities. And so I do live by kind of this historically Black neighborhood, and so I try to support some of the kind of soul food and barbecue restaurants there, and that's kind of been my focus lately, I guess.
Awesome. Elizabeth?
My name's Liz Thorley. I work at Keller Associates. My favorite takeout food is probably Thai. We have a really good Thai barbecue food cart in town.
Nice. And Erica.
Hi, I'm Erica. I work in the, well, I'm not in the Portland office, but I'm in Portland and I work for Brown & Caldwell. And favorite takeout is probably either, well, I mean, like everything's takeout right now. So I'll do Thai, sushi, pizza. That's probably like my top 3 faves. I don't think I can pick just one though.
Nice.
I'm hungry now, so. Yeah.
And next is Brittany Birch.
Hey guys, I work for a company called IL Utilities. We're all remote, but well, I assume everyone is right now. But I'm based in Northern California, and yeah, I think I have to say probably like Japanese sushi, sashimi. There's this one restaurant that does like a belly, like toro belly that's seared. That is just so freaking good. So live off that stuff. Sorry if anyone's hungry.
Next, we got Mary.
Hi, my name is Mary Martin, and I work in the Portland Tetra Tech office. And, let's see. Probably Mediterranean food. I've been eating a lot of falafel. It's really good.
Nice. Brittany Downing.
So I also enjoy the Thai food, so yummy. But there's recently a pho place that was built, or that's like new, that's like right down the street. It's called Sassy Souks. So we've been getting a lot of pho recently, and it's so delicious. So
Nice.
that's nice. Oh, and I work for City of Portland.
Got too distracted by the good food.
Yeah.
Okay, now Leslie.
Hi, I'm Leslie. I work in the Portland office for Tetra Tech / my bedroom office now. And my favorite takeout, I usually only get for like special occasions or when my parents are visiting, and that'll be Thai food, but like the whole works. I'll get an appetizer, an entree, a dessert, and then a drink. Go all out.
Nice. Excellent order. And that's just Brittany again. Let's see. And Erin.
Howdy. Not sure. I'm Erin Lamb. I'm not sure how to say where I work because I'm a student at Portland State. I'm currently interning at David Evans and Associates. Well, I finished that and they hired me. And then I'm starting with Clean Water Services this June. And I'm gonna have to go with the Thai. I love, and I'm with you, Leslie, on the full game. Delicious.
Awesome. And I'm Sam Hawkinson. I work for Brown & Caldwell. And for me, when it comes to takeout, I'm all about the Indian food. Probably going to be a tie between Indian and sushi. And yeah, I don't know about you all, but I am hungry after hearing about these orders. But I tell you, I'm really hungry for a full order, though. appetizer, main, dessert, and drink. That's how it's done, Leslie. I think I need to try that this weekend. And now I'm just going to go in and kick off the rest of the kind of warm up that we have here. Let me share my screen with you all because I made just a couple of slides to go with. This took over my screen, but you can't see it. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen and then go into presentation mode. So I want to talk just shortly about the importance of networking in your career. Before meeting up today, I polled all of our members for the Member Services Committee, as well as a couple of other PNCWA folks that I work with often, because I wanted to find out how many of us got our jobs through networking or through an open application process or through a career fair. And so I asked around and I put together the results and made a couple tables that I want to share with you all. And note, this isn't a rigorous college approved study, but it is a nice representative sample from people in the industry who have between, generally 1 and 10 years experience. So the first one, just how have PNCWA members landed their jobs? It's interesting, about 50% was through straight up networking, talking to someone who knows someone and getting to know them all better. About a third of it was open application, just blindly applying to a job offer that we saw online or knew of. Around 10% each for networking at a member association or an event. So for this would have been like a career fair or WEF or PNCWA, and then another 8% at an actual university recruiting event. Whoops, I think I said that twice. So the first one, 10%, was just at something like WEF or a PNCWA conference or something like that. And then 1% was from an actual informal interview process where the person went to someone and said, hey, I'd love to, just informally interview you and get to know you better and how you got to this position. And that actually ended up leading into a job for them. And looking at this big set here, this kind of 50% networking, a third open application, I wanted to further parse that out and see, are these municipal, like city engineers, or are these more in the private consulting side, and what differences there might be? So when I dug down into the numbers, it was interesting to see, first talking about the municipal side of things, that about 2/3 had gotten their jobs through networking. 1/3 through just straight up networking, and the other third through doing an informal interview. And then another third got their job through just blindly applying. This is somewhat what I expected to see. I did expect to see more people in the municipal side getting their jobs through open application than on the consulting side. But it was still interesting to see the high amount of people even working for cities that got their jobs through networking. On the consulting side, this is more what I expected to see, 70% through networking. That could be even higher if you include the 17% that was through networking at an event or a member association. So just about really 80% of the consulting engineers got their jobs through networking. These numbers are really important leading into what we're talking about today, which is just all about networking and how important it really is. When I was requesting this information from the other members of PNCWA, one thing that kept coming up was what we termed the spiral of networking. I'm going to go to that slide now. For a lot of engineers, there really was this kind of spiral of networking that occurred where they landed their first job, which may have been through just an open application. But through working there, they begin networking internally at that job, get to know their coworkers, they join member associations, and they start to build their presence on LinkedIn. And then that usually started to lead into an external networking. As their coworkers started to move on to new companies, their networks began to expand. As they participated in member associations more vigorously, their network expanded. They were able to meet and get to know colleagues from other companies. And then at some point, most of us usually take our next job. And at that point, the network expands even more because as they start doing the internal networking there, it's just growing upon what they already had. So really, they get to the point where they can start to use their network to actually find more jobs in the future. You get to the point where your network becomes large enough and it starts growing very organically that when it comes time to go on to that next opportunity, a lot of people are able to use their networks to make that happen. That's really the last slide that I have to talk about this. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing my screen now. And I'm going to open it up. If anyone has some questions on those findings, I'll take questions for a minute. All right. I don't hear any questions. So let's get into this thing.